do you? How do, beautiful lords and ladies of the nerdom? This is TNC Live, episode 65. Manny Roman with me as always, the man with Blackspread.
Hey, it's feeling good. I'm honestly so excited to talk about Gamescom today, man. I'm honestly surprised because I don't know. This is something that was happening. I was like, I guess I'll look at it, but then real hype stuff today. So super excited. Of course, we have Adam back again.
Hey, happy to be here as always.
Happy to have you, buddy. Yeah,
Thanks,
lots of awesome stuff from Gamescom opening night live that we're gonna dive into, like Fall Guys and a bunch more. Our listener topic, for those of you that missed out last week, we're gonna be talking a lot about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. We got our announcement trailer. There's a lot of really good stuff from Gamescom that they talked about too, so we're gonna talk about that later in the show. But for starters, what you boys been up to?
Adam, you want to go?
Yeah. Sure, yeah, I'll go ahead, I'll start. So I just got actually back this morning from a wedding in Indiana. So you're probably going to see me yawn a lot, which is typical. I yawn a lot anyways, but you're going to see it more than normal. Otherwise, besides that, I've been playing Fall Guys a little bit here and there, not too much as of lately. Also, not very much Valorant, maybe one match, if that, maybe two. Yeah, kind of honestly steering a little bit away from the game, just kind of taking a break. Not that I don't like it or anything, but just a little bit of a break. Played some Among Us with a little bit of a group here, the Nerd Chambers group, so that was really fun.
That's actually a great time.
Yeah, that
Honestly was.
Huge value. Played some League of Legends. Played one match TFT, which I got third.
You got third, second or third.
Yeah. So I'll happily take that, especially since I don't play TFT very often. And been playing some New World, the preview, which we'll dive a bit more into later on.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I'm kind of somewhat in the similar boat as you. I mean, for me, played a little bit of Valorant. I think I was on a 2-3 game winning streak. I'm in gold 3 right now, but I should be like one game out of plat 1 again, so it's definitely nice. So from there, a lot of Apex actually over this last week. Last night was really good for Apex. We had a really nice dub. That made me really happy there.
We're falling into the same trap. We win our first game, feel great, and then we never replicate it. We have some good games along the way, but we can never get there again.
Yeah, I can definitely agree there. I was surprised how into it Golden has been getting though for Apex. So it's definitely been making a lot of fun. Played a good amount of League this week. I'm in solo duos, silver 1 again. So I'm thinking I'll probably hit gold before the season ends. I'd love to get the Victoria skin, whatever it is for this season. A lot of TFT. I'm bouncing back and forth between plat 3 and plat 2 pretty much constantly. And I bought Madden the other day. It was kind of just out of nowhere. I turned on my PC at like midnight and just got on, started looking at stuff, and I got a pop-up from Origin saying, Madden has just came out. Buy it now. I'm like, okay. So I played a lot of the Madden Face the franchise. I'll be honest, I'm loving it this year. I thought last year it was okay. I just couldn't get too much into it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, what I've been doing. And then I did go see a movie this weekend. First time in a long time. We'll eventually talk about this one on TNC movie nights when Alex feels comfortable to go see it. But I saw New Mutants. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because that's all the good I have to say about it. I saw the movie. But Manny, how about you, man? What have you been up to?
Same. I think a couple games of Valorant. I think we only played like once this week.
Yeah.
Couple games of Fall Guys here and there. A lot of Apex. I actually played a good bit by myself too. So it's been fun. It's been an interesting learning curve getting used to keyboard and mouse. Very different play style from PC or PS4 to PC. I've noticed I'm not aiming down sights as much, especially in close range. Like I just started hip firing, and honestly, it works a lot better for me. But that's also because my aim's kind of pretty twitchy on my keyboard and mouse because it's just not natural to me. Among Us to your guys' point, I actually played 2 nights. I played once with the Vivid squad, and that's why I brought it up to all of you guys. I had a really good time with it, and that was super fun.
That was
Really good
way more
time.
fun than I thought it would be, honestly.
We
I had a
definitely need a stream of it at some point.
Oh yeah.
I definitely had a feeling that it was going to be a little bit more fun because I know you're not as fond of social games as I am, but I thought I figured you would like this one a little bit more because there is more interactivity to it and there's actual game and an actual point to it outside of just sitting here and like trying to figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth.
Yeah. Great time. I'm just glad I'm able to manipulate Adam. That's what makes me
Oh
happy.
my god, it's so
Wasn't,
easy.
man.
You don't even have to try. You just have to say
Nah,
something, and he's like, he's right. Yeah, I believe it.
It was one time. It was one time.
One-
I learned his tricks. It's never happening again.
And I just love that me spending $1.99 in that game made me win a game. Because I was like, guys, I'm not even paying attention to this match. I got my little child with me. I have to take care of him, and I'm trying to see if I can get him stuck in places. And I was just killing people the whole time. And that's the thing. Whenever anyone would walk past me is when I would kill them, because they saw me just running around in circles with my little kid. And then Alex like stood right next to me, just looking at me, and I just killed him. And I'm like, oh, time to go to a new area. Such a good time.
Yeah, it was super fun. Honestly, it was a good night. Good bit of TFT. I'm almost gold 1. I've kind of been like in a weird spot where I constantly get like 3rd through 6th like every game, so I'm just kind of losing 20 LP, gaining 20 LP constantly.
Yeah.
So kind of stuck there, and then played actually a pretty good bit of New World actually this past week with the preview coming out. I actually haven't pre-ordered the game, but I signed up for beta access. Like, I think I told you guys. I think it was pre-Rona. Like, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I actually sent me a code like towards the end of day 1. I think it was the morning of day 2. But yeah, again, we'll get into that later in the show. For now,
one last thing that we did, Manny and I last night, we watched some stream last night.
oh, that's right. Gotta welcome to Twitch to the man, the myth, the legend, David Dobrik. I gotta say, I watched his stream for like an hour and a half, like uninterrupted. I wasn't doing anything. I was literally just sitting here watching his stream, talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun and entertaining. I gotta be honest.
It was a good time. Him and Corinna back and forth is fantastic throughout the stream, so made it a lot of fun.
Him bullying Corona is actually the most hilarious thing. Actually, it's so funny. Oh my god. Things he says, I can't replicate it on here because it's not appropriate, but it's hilarious. So once we wrap up what we've been up to, we always jump into the
Top 5 gaming news stories of the week. Number 1.
Number 1. Really, really interesting news coming out. For a long time, it's been speculated that there was going to be some sort of like Switch Pro that was going to come, and there's finally been new reports surfacing that there is in fact going to be an upgraded Nintendo Switch that's going to be potentially coming in early 2021. To me, it kind of makes sense. I would not be surprised if we see it like around March, like we saw the original Switch launch. The reports are saying that it's going to be upgraded visuals, all around upgraded performance. I don't think there's any sort of like speculated price point, but really interesting, honestly, as somebody who is like I've owned the Switch 2 different times. I just can't really get into some of the Switch exclusives, but some are really great. Like Fire Emblem Three Houses is fantastic. Animal Crossing was fun, but it's just not for me. Pokemon, fun, but it feels like it's getting more simplistic and not as interesting with each game. But seeing that they're going to be upgrading the hardware, if it's a fairly significant upgrade, that they're going to be able to kind of play a lot of these AAA like third-party games, I think it could be really, really good for the Switch.
Yeah, I really do hope that that's the amount of upgrade that we see, is where we can see, you know, every game that's on Xbox, Xbox, PS4, PS5 type of thing, and PC, that we can now see them on Switch. If this is more kind of just like a little simple upgrade, you know, oh, this Switch is going to be faster, kind of like I feel like the switch between a regular PS4 and the PS4 Pro, it's nice, but for a Switch, I don't feel like that's going to be really necessary. But I do agree, if this is going to be a big enough change where they can play all normal AAA titles on regular consoles, this is really cool. So, definitely kind of excited to see what comes out from this.
Would be neat. Yeah, I mean, it can already like do games like Fortnite, so just get a little bit more intensive hardware in there, and I'm sure it could do some pretty big games.
Yeah.
COD Warzone, maybe.
And honestly, I'm kind of hoping to see, you know, with they brought out the Switch Lite, which was pretty much the handheld only version of the Switch. I would love to see a more like home console, more powerful Switch. I hope that's the direction they go with, because I think it would create a really cool ecosystem with the Switch. You know, having that hybrid, having that handheld only, having that kind of more traditional console only, to kind of give people the experience they want all in the same platform, I think would be a really smart decision for them. If that were the case, so I'm curious if the Switch, let's just say it's the Switch Pro, would have some games that can only work for the Switch Pro that are more intensive, like a Warzone, you know, like a, you know, name whatever game, like Apex and stuff like that, which Apex is coming to the Switch, so we'll see.
I think that honestly would be fantastic, because like someone like myself, I don't care about the Sony exclusives. I can play my Xbox exclusives on PC, pretty much all of them. You know, if I was like, you know, I got to get next console to play next console games, the Switch is the only one I'd probably be interested in, because that is the only exclusives that I can't play anywhere else, and I actually enjoy them. You know, I agree. Pokemon, it's kind of so-so, but I'll be very honest. I'd rather play Animal Crossing, which I didn't play a whole lot of. I did have a lot of fun with it. I'd rather play that over any Sony exclusive, because they're just not for me. So I like the little more community, you know, multiplayer, even if it's kind of co-op, you know, hanging out type games rather than a story-based game. So definitely intriguing, though. I'm really excited to kind of see what news comes out from this.
Number 2.
So we're gonna start getting into a lot of the stuff that got announced on Gamescom's opening night live that happened a couple days ago. The first one being that we got a first look at Fall Guys Season 2. Big changes coming to the game, honestly. They teased some of the changes. It's going to be a medieval themed season, and they're redesigning multiple of the mini games and adding new mini games into the new season, as well as really cool medieval themed costumes and things like that. Really excited. Probably the most interesting thing was that like they redesigned some of the obstacle courses, and it looks like there's going to be actual like interactivity where you have to like move the ramps into place to be able to get over this really high wall and things like that. So
I did pretty see cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is
That's definitely like.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's definitely what the game needed to have some different maps, because like it was very fun to start, and then all of a sudden, like, it's like, okay, I've played this one over. I've established I don't like this minigame. I've established I do like this one. I've found out all the ways to really like succeed at this one, and so on and so forth. So the repetition part got to be a little kind of like, I'd be okay not playing the game so much. And now with this whole change of everything, that's exciting. It's cool, and the fact that it has a specific theme is very enjoyable too.
I think that's honestly the best way they can go about their updates, and that was brilliant of them to go with the theme updates, because, you know, we'll see something like a medieval times. I'm sure we'll see like Galaxy Wars, you know, where it's kind of like mix of Star Wars, Star Trek, and just other, you know, space type things. And then we might take a Renaissance thing. Like, there's so many different things that they can do with it to kind of keep it a little fresh, but still the same game, and make people want to come back. It's like, oh, you know, I really like, you know, space stuff. Now I'm going to want to play that. Or like maybe a superhero one will come out. Like, if there's going to be things to make people at least come back to spend a couple bucks on a couple cosmetics that look really cool, and then, you know, play the game a bit more. So it's honestly just brilliant from the Fall Guys team.
Yeah, and I mean, with how much traction they've been getting from all of these different companies about partnerships, you could even start seeing like, you know, themed levels like us, like, you know, we talked about it on this show a few weeks back, like how they talked with Cyberpunk and The Witcher, like you could see a cyberpunk theme, mini game and things like that. Like there's so many different directions they can go creatively, and I feel like this big shift for season 2, I think bodes well for the future of the game, because that shows that they're looking to constantly, make bigger changes to the game versus just, hey, new season, here's a new battle pass, here's new things. Like they're actually looking to constantly keep the game fresh, which I think is really, really good for the game.
100% agree. All right.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, to close out opening night live at Gamescom, we got the first look at some uncut gameplay for the PlayStation 5 in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And we got a nice 10-minute gameplay demo. Again, this was uncut footage. This was just actual gameplay. It wasn't live. They weren't playing it at the show, but it was a recorded uncut of the demo. Game looks fantastic. Really cool that there's no cutscenes to the game. There's no load times. It's all just it's almost like one gigantic fluid scene, like we saw with God of War. And game was looking really fun. One cool thing that I wasn't expecting was that you're actually going to be able to level up Ratchet and the weapons he used to, upgrade his health and upgrade the damage the weapons do over time, which I thought was a really cool touch to kind of add an extra layer to the game. What did you guys think from the gameplay that we saw?
So, I mean, I'll be very honest. This is a type of game that I've never really been one for. However, a lot of the different changes and kind of modernizations to the game made it very interesting. Like on something you brought up right before the show, they changed the view of the game. They kind of brought a little more like over the shoulder third person rather than almost like I don't want to say fully bird's eye view, but in a sense. And I think that is kind of big because it makes it a little more immersive in the game. You have a little more personalization with the character, seeing up close with him and stuff like that. So a lot of the changes are very interesting for me. And, if I do have a PS5, this will be a game I eventually will be like, oh, cool, it's $40. I'm going to pick it up because it again, a lot of the monetization to it makes it very awesome.
Yeah, agreed. It's definitely a game that, like you said, if I ended up with the PS5, I would get it at some point in time. It's not a gaming series that I initially ever got into. I remember playing one of them long ago and thought, okay, it's all right, but it's not for me kind of thing. But with it being a bit more updated, the whole leveling experience, the better angled view on the character, it's something I could probably see myself enjoying quite thoroughly.
Yeah, a lot of really cool updates with the game too. Like I told you guys before the show, the little added touches here and there, like having a more immersive world with like people running back and forth in the chaos of the gameplay and things like that. Interacting with the characters, like little bits here and there. Like they all have, like for example, there was a guy that was like holding onto like a sign, and one of these like little enemies are trying to attack him. He's like, nice sand shark, and then you take out the sand shark, and he's like, my hero, and this is like little things like that I think are really cool, and having the little bits of interaction, a little more immersive world is gonna be what sets apart this gen to next gen. That and the visuals were great. Again, seeing how fluid it was, having no load screens, and having the little rift like movement system, I thought was really, really cool.
That was cool.
So a lot of cool stuff. Afterwards, they talked to the developers for a good 5-10 minutes as well, and they talked about how the dual sense is gonna, affect the gameplay. And one of the things was the example was there's the equivalent. I can't remember the name of the gun, but it's an equivalent of a double barrel. And they said with the adaptive triggers, you'll be able to like feel when you're like how much you're pressing the trigger essentially, and if you press it a certain amount, it only shoots one of the double barrels, and if you press it down all the way, it shoots both. So having cool little added features like that, I think is really cool, and what's again sets apart the next gen from this gen.
Yeah, I think this one will definitely be the proper next gen experience that the Ratchet and Clank fans are gonna need. I'm sure this is gonna be fantastic. So I'm genuinely excited.
Number 4.
Yeah, and they wrapped it up by giving us. It sounds like this game's gonna be a launch title on the PS5. They said it's gonna be coming out on the PS5's launch window.
Okay.
So we potentially could be seeing Ratchet and Clank as one of PlayStation's launch day exclusives, along with Godfall.
Yeah, like one of those like bundles, you know, like get the PS5 and Ratchet and Clank, and you save like $20 because the game is technically discounted.
Yeah, definitely be nice. We'll have to see. But sadly, I hit a little early last time, but we'll go and move on to
Number 4.
Oh, you had already hit it.
I did.
Oopsie. LOL. So, our fourth story. What we're gonna do with our fourth story? We're gonna kind of recap the rest of Gamescom opening night live. Talk about some of the things that we really liked. There was an absurd amount of things that they showed off at. I think it was like over 30 titles in like a 2-hour window. So there's a lot of stuff going on throughout the show. And then we'll even talk about the Games of Show awards that they had as well. So I'll give it to Adam first. Give me a game that was shown off to whatever extent at opening night live that you really enjoyed.
So, gosh, that's kind of a tough question because there's definitely like a handful that I really enjoyed, but if I had to say one that I really appreciated the most, it was going to be Doom Eternal for the Ancient Gods. Do you want me to go a little bit more in depth, or
What you got for me, dude?
All right, sure. So I already enjoyed Doom Eternal. Like, it was such a fun, good game, like really well made. But for me, of course, obviously, it looks beautiful. Like, what are you gonna expect? You know, they did great. But not only was the trailer hype, just because it's Doom, so you have fast kick butt gameplay going on, but the fact that they titled it The Ancient Gods Part 1 is exciting because you don't see DLCs do that like ever, or at least very rarely. I can't think of one that has done that. So that's kind of fun. So it's not only going to be like, okay, cool, you have this like maybe 2 extra hours of story or whatever for this expansion, and then here's some additives for the multiplayer. So at least, you know, you're going to get new story, and then that story is going to continue and develop more. So that's actually really exciting. I like that part a lot.
Yeah, I agree. That is something kind of cool and unique. Like, it's not very often you see a DLC with a sequel to it, let alone it basically just giving it straight up like, yeah, we got this DLC, and then we're gonna follow it up with more story to it. I think that is pretty cool. So I think we'll see some really cool development in that DLC over time. Yeah, I think it was a good one. Brandon, what about you?
This is an easy choice.
Brandon's like, yeah.
Easy choice.
Easy.
Is it?
Sims Star.
World
Just
of
kidding.
Warcraft?
Just kidding.
Bro,
Outriders,
don't tease Bree like that, dude. She's so hyped on that.
Oh, dude, say it. I posted it in chat last night. I was like, Sims Star Wars, this is crazy. I was like, I am so excited, seriously. But Outriders is like, out of all these games, I know, like, I thought it was going to probably say one of the Warhammer titles because I love Warhammer. I love their games that I've played so far. But Outriders, I thought it was so cool. To me, it was like the Destiny I always wanted for everything I saw. And it's honestly really cool. Like, I'm watching the trailer again right now, and it's very Borderlands-y. Because even like one of the creatures looks like a skag. It literally looked like a skag in there. And I was like, okay, definitely my kind of style of story game, a co-op story that's probably a little bit more like loot based and level your character based. So honestly, Outriders look freaking sweet.
That's a game that's like been quietly showing off a lot of cool stuff. I believe there's 2 different essentially like little presentations that they've done for the game so far to kind of show off the game a little bit, and it does look really cool. I gotta say, when I saw that trailer, I couldn't think of what it was at first. I'm like, is this Outriders? I didn't think it was gonna have such like a dark feel to it, but it does look really cool. And it sounds like there's gonna be a lot of freedom to how you make your character and build your character. So I think that's something that a game like Destiny was kind of lacking, in having such a linear structured character building system. So I think having it's seeming like it's gonna have more freedom. I think Outriders could be a really cool like alternative to that.
Yeah, like I'm watching gameplay from August 11th from IGN right now, and this seriously looks like it looks like Borderlands on the fact of like the environment you're in, the creatures you're fighting, the characters are, just the abilities and stuff kind of feel like very Borderlands, but it looks like Destiny. Looks just like Destiny, which I have no problem with. Destiny I think looks fantastic. It's just, gets kind of linear, as you mentioned, and a little boring. So this game's really interesting to me because I've talked about how much, I love Borderlands. So I think this could be something else that could kind of get me back into kind of a co-op story if any of you guys would be interested to try that one out at some point. So yeah, definitely Outriders. How about you, Manny? Which game was kind of piquing your interest?
First of all, it's 3-player co-op. The three of us here. I'm just saying.
Facts.
3-player squad.
Good math, buddy.
I know how to count. So for me, my favorite announcement, even though it wasn't like much of an announcement, it was just kind of more of like a behind-the-scenes type thing. Dragon Age 4. Dragon Age is probably my favorite franchise out there as a whole. My favorite game is Elder Scrolls Oblivion, but as a franchise as a whole, I think Dragon Age is probably my favorite, because the storytelling is unmatched to me in any game I've played. It's so well done. It even got me to read the books, and I barely know how to read. But they talked about Dragon Age 4. They showed a kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. Had a lot of the people on the development team talking about the game world, a little bit of the story. For those of you that follow the franchise heavily, Peter Weeks, who has been the main writer for the franchise for the past couple games, is returning to be the narrative lead for the game. And he talked a little bit about the story and how it's going to go. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit different. You're not going to be like this, end-all be-all figure like you have been in the last couple games, where you're just like already the guy in charge. Is going to kind of be more of a you're somebody who doesn't really have a position of power, but like
that's cool,
comes to oppose the people of power, which I think is really cool and different. They showed off some really, really cool concept art, really like beautiful concept art, and then they showed a little bit of like a roaming camera of like the environments of the game. They did say it is in early development, so we probably aren't going to see this game for a couple of years, probably like 2 or 3 years, which just sucks because I really want that game. And Inquisition came out like 6 years ago, so it's like, where you at, bruh? But really excited.
Totally understandable. And then anyone out there on YouTube, Twitch, anything like that, or just even listening through a podcast form, just let us know in the comments. Tweet at us which game were you most excited about in the Gamescom announcement. Before, I don't know if we're going to be continuing on from anything right now, but before we do that, can you each of you rattle off like 3 to 5 games, announcements, DLC that you're like, yeah, like I'm gonna play that, or like you'll be like, I'm gonna keep my eye on it, that I might play it.
I have a few I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't know
if you want to dive into them, feel free. At least, if you're like, I don't have a whole lot to say, but if you just want to rattle off names, go ahead. I'd love to hear some games that you guys are kind of excited about.
So, for me, one of them was the Medal of Honor announcement. I thought was awesome. So, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. This is one of the other games that Vince Ampella, the guy that runs Respawn, has been working on. He brought back the original writer of the original Medal of Honor to help him make this story, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be a VR game, which I thought was, at first I was like, but just watching the trailer of it, like, it seems like this is gonna be like the big VR game that VR has needed. It's got a 3-act story, all in World War II. You go through the French Resistance to D-Day to trying to stop like a Nazi secret weapon project. And they did confirm that there is going to be multiplayer to the game, and it's coming out this year, surprisingly. So it looked really cool. Made me want to VR again, honestly, because some of the gameplay mechanics are really cool. And I think it looked really good. And again, you know, having the people running that, or I guess leading that game that they do, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
A couple others I had. One game that looked interesting to me. I don't know too much about it. This is actually the first time I saw it. It's called Lemnis Gate. It's like a competitive first-person shooter that's like mixed. It's like mixed with strategy though. It's like turn-based, and you have 25 seconds to like make your move, and then like time kind of like resets, and then somebody on the other team goes, and it's like a weird back and forth of like turn-based FPS gameplay. And I couldn't really get a good sense of the flow of it because it was just a sizzle reel of gameplay and shooting and things like that. But it sounds like a really cool and different take on an FPS that'd be interesting in seeing. And then the other game that I was going to bring up is it's an indie game called 12 Minutes. This game actually got announced originally, I think, over a year ago, and when it originally got announced, I was so intrigued by the idea of it. It's called 12 Minutes. James McAvoy and Willem Dafoe are actually like two of the lead voice actors for the game, which that again itself is awesome. But the whole point of the game is like you're in this time loop sort of thing, and you play through the same scenario over and over, and there's like tons of different ways that this scenario can resolve. And it's like just you're like this guy's having dinner with his wife and some guy breaks into their house, and you play through the scenario and try to go through the different ways of this scenario playing out. It just sounds really cool and interesting. I just want to honestly, it's one of those games like I could just watch somebody play it just to see how it plays out, and I'd be kind of sucked into it. But I also kind of want to play it. But it is an Xbox exclusive, which is big sad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching the
For
original like reveal of it and kind of some more stuff on it right now. But yeah, this is definitely one of those games that I'm gonna love watching like PewDiePie or someone like that playing this game, because there is a lot to it in such a simplistic style or idea of a game. So yeah, it's something pretty cool there.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, few other games that definitely caught my attention. Dragon Age 4 being one of them, but you already had a nice little talk about it. So on the other side of things, World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Very excited to hop back into that game. DLC area looked beautiful as always. Like WoW does great. I mean, unless you're talking about OG WoW, but
damn.
Yeah, just saying, OG WoW looked pretty bad.
Damn.
And then two others for me. Crash 4. We didn't really get to see much, but you kind of did. Alright, here's my thing. I love Crash. Love those games. Just wish he didn't look so stupid. And they kept him the way he looked in the first place. Instead of thick neck, alright?
Thick neck.
But but besides that, I'm still gonna love the game. It is what it is. Finally, this one's mainly kind of because of my girlfriend, but then it's like I'll still like it as well. So The Sims 4 Star Wars expansion. So my girlfriend's obsessed with The Sims. So this will at least get me to start playing it again, because it's fun. But at least it's Star Wars, so now I'm double intrigued.
That's totally fair. To kind of piggyback off you there, the Sims expansion is definitely interesting to me. World of Warcraft, as you mentioned, we've been excited about that for quite some time now, and we got a release date, October 27th. Super hyped about that. But honestly, for myself, both Warhammer games, Warhammer Necromunda, I think it was what it's called, Underhive Wars, Underhive Wars, and then Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It's not the 40k edition of Warhammer, it's like the medieval times Warhammer, so I thought that was kind of cool too. Don't really see them dive into that style of Warhammer a whole lot for their games, so that was pretty cool there. And then honestly, Age of Empires 3, that's a game I keep looking at to play, and it looked so nice when I was watching the reveal for that one. And the game that made me jump out of my chair watching this yesterday, and I hope you guys will get it with me so we can all enjoy it together. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker
I
Saga.
knew that's what you were gonna say.
I will happily get.
Yeah.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Adam
love
and I used to
the
play
Lego Star Wars
Star
game.
Wars game. Yeah, I remember you and I played a couple of them together. I think we even when I in freshman or sophomore year of high school, we went to Blockbuster and rented the trilogy saga that they had or whatever for the first 3, and we played it. Great time. And this has all 9 games, and I am so excited for this. I literally jumped out of my chair last night for how excited I was for this game.
It's huge hype. So yeah, I'm all for it.
I love
I'm
the Lego
down.
games. I love the Lego games, and they do the Star Wars ones so well. The quirky little thing is they do in the announcement trailer where it's Rey goes to see Luke, and he's facing the opposite direction, and it's just the porgs in Luke's cloak, and he's trying to steal it back. I was dying. I was having a good time. So those are some of my games, and again, let us know in the comments some of the games you're most excited for. Just chat with us about them. We'll kind of maybe you'll pique our interest a little bit more than we currently are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So to wrap up our Gamescom talk, I'll run through some of the Games of Show awards that they revealed. The best Switch game was Little Nightmares 2. Best action adventure game, big win, was Watch Dogs Legion. GG. I'm super stoked about that game.
Oh, yeah.
And then they did best action game. I'm like, then why have action adventure game if you're just gonna put action game right after it? But best action game was Star Wars Squadrons. Best multiplayer game is Operation Tango. Best indie game Curious Expedition 2. Best Xbox game Tell Me Why. And the last one they announced was, to me, the most confusing. Best PlayStation game was Cyberpunk 2077. Which, don't get me wrong, Cyberpunk might be the game for me when it comes out, but why is it the best PlayStation game at the show?
Yeah, it's not an exclusive or anything.
Yeah.
That is really weird.
I'm guessing it was just the game is at such a high caliber they need to give it put it for some award for some system.
Yeah.
I feel like PlayStation has better exclusives at the show, so they probably could have put it for Xbox, especially because they're partnered with Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know when it's coming out again?
I think they pushed it back to November, if I remember right.
November, but that's only for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It doesn't come out for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X until 2021. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I know they're working on an upgrade for next gen systems. So my guess is, with them pushing it back to work on a couple things for the game, I'm sure that, in turn pushes back their next gen upgrades too, because they have to kind of do the same touch ups to the upgrade as well. Which is feels bad. I was really hoping this game is going to be a next-gen launch title at this point, especially now that it's getting pushed back to November, but sadly we won't get it till next year on next-gen hardware.
Yeah, I can
and now I'm
say I'll be getting it on PC now. 100%.
I'm man.
Yeah.
Big sad.
I'm going to buy it for PC and then play it with a PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah. You just gotta buy a DualSense, no system.
I might, for how cool those controllers are, and I love using, controller for some games on PC, so it's a pretty freaking cool controller.
You gotta go big homie and customize it then.
I might. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, it definitely was kind of weird that Cyberpunk won that one, but Legion, super excited about that. Love that I got an award on there. So
2 months.
Yeah,
2 months away.
2 months. I'm really excited about that game. I really am. All right. Well, looks like all our Gamescom talk is done. So we'll go and move on to fifth final story for
Number 5.
number 5.
Final story of the week. Gotta talk about that New World preview. Came out on the 25th. Goes until September 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that don't know, it's Amazon Games MMO that they've been working on for some time now. It recently got pushed back to... Is it May or is it just 2021? Spring 2021?
Pretty sure it's May. I will double check for you.
Anyways, it got pushed back a good bit a month ago when it was actually supposed to come out on the August 25th. So what they did was they decided to give people preview of the current build of the game on the original launch day. So get a few more days here to play with the current build of the game. But overall, what do you guys think now that I think all of us have probably put a solid like 8 to 10 hours in at least?
Real quick for you, it was May 2021, then it was announced for spring 2021, and now it has changed to early 2021. So maybe it's moving in the right direction. Maybe we will see it earlier than we thought. Because, I mean, May, I'm pretty sure... May would still count as a late spring, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead. Actually, no, Adam, you go ahead and start because you've put the most time into this game, and I think you probably enjoy it more than anyone at this point.
Yeah, probably. I think I at least have 20 hours right now put into it. If our boy Golden was here, oh man, he's like 40 hours. He's nuts.
Just 40?
Maybe it's more, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
even remember in the first 2 days, he was like, I just hit 22 hours. In the first like 2 days. Hey, I will say he has the game on.
Yeah, but some of that, it's like, do you really count
it's
it?
like idle time and stuff. But like, yeah, he's got the game on the entire time he's doing anything. So, yeah, crazy. Go ahead.
He's
But
nuts.
yeah, so a weird train ride with like this game. So started off, and I was like, ooh, all right, this is fun. This is a pretty game. I vibe this. Oh, okay, cool. Let me try these different kind of attack styles out. And then, I was doing questing, and then I was like, man, my game bugged? Because I keep doing the same damn quest. And no, game's not bugged. That's just how the game is. It's quest-wise, it's go to this area, kill 20 enemies, collect 8 chests. Go to this area, kill 10 enemies, get 3 chests, go to this area. And I was like, wow, this blows chunks. And immediately after like 4 hours, and this was all in one like sit through on the day it came out for the preview, and I was like, change my mind, hate this game. And then I was like, all right, Adam, you jumped to conclusion real quick. Keep playing it, try other things out. So then I tried again, and then I got a bit more into crafting, and then I got a bit more into the PvP aspect, and then I was like, all right, I like the game again. So the crafting and the PvP is what's holding me there, because yeah, the questing is it's garbage in my opinion. Like, sure, it's in the sense of the system for questing, it's really well done. Like your quest log, the tracking, all that. But just the fact that it's the same thing, like most MMORPG kind of games, it is the same thing. Go to an area, do like the same kind of tasks over and over, but at least there's a variety of tasks, not kill chest, kill chest. So if they expand that a bit more and actually have some story depth to the game, that would be great. Because at first it felt like there was going to be a story, like throughout the
introduction
tutorial.
Yeah,
the introduction of the tutorial, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, there really is no story. There's no background. There's little logs, like paper, like sheets that you can read that do give some background and some story, but really that's about it. And that was a little bit of a bummer, especially with it being such like a beautiful game, and you're not going to have cutscenes. I was like, well, you had a cutscene in the tutorial and like this intro video. How are you going to not keep up with that? So that was a little bit disappointing. But before I, go ahead and talk about everything on the game, Brandon, why don't you take over? Go on with stuff.
I know Adam kind of started out saying that he was kind of on this like roller coaster of loving the game, not liking the game, and then going back to kind of enjoying it. I've been kind of on this steady, like, very like plateau, steady. A lot of it, just like I'm kind of interested. It's interesting. At no point have I been like, this game is amazing. And really at no point have I been like, this game sucks. I have kind of gotten on a little bit of a decline right now. And I guess my big thing is, I know, depending on who you ask, the type of MMO combat is boring to you in some games. I'm a huge fan of like World of Warcraft, tab-based targeting, where you have like 20, and anywhere from like 10 to 30 skills that you can go in each single combat scenario, and it at least feels slightly different. You can go do like 10 in a row, they all feel slightly different, and then yeah, sure, you're gonna repeat some of them because there's only so many things you can do with 10 to 30 abilities. And I've always really enjoyed those because the animations for, maybe your 8 normal abilities are very different. So, watching your combat, it's fun because your character's doing these cool things. I've never been someone for Magic in games. I hate it. I hate Magic characters. The most boring thing in the world to me. Never done it in any... Okay, I've tried it in every single game. Never liked it in any game. So that... gone for me for New World. In the beta, I pretty much only did archery and a little bit of like the hammer. Archery got really boring to me. Did not really enjoy it. I know people are like, oh, but it's so much fun because you have to aim. It's like, well, it kind of gets boring after a while. I mean, if it wasn't like, it's why I don't like story games when it comes to like first-person shooters. It's like I'm just kind of shooting over and over. Yeah, competitive games, I'm okay with it because there's ranks and feels good and bad when you get kills and die. So the archery kind of fell off it pretty quick, and then the melee combat is so damn boring. It's why I hate Dark Souls. It's why I hate Elder Scrolls Online, because the combat's literally just animation, and then just do the same things over and over. So yeah, there's rolling or dodging and stuff, but that doesn't really, I don't know, it's not very fun to me. So the combat's really killing me in this game. Crafting in this game is one of the coolest crafting systems I've ever seen, though. I love the crafting. I get on now and just craft. I'll go mine, craft, go cut down trees and craft. So they did a fantastic job there. There's so much you can do with it. There's 300 levels, I'm pretty sure. And they blew crafting away like in any other game I've played so far. So I'm just like, I'm in a weird spot, a really weird spot. And then the PvP, it's like, why PvP? But then there's still the people that like, I want to ruin someone's day and that's why I'm going to PvP. I just want to make people hate the game and that's why people PvP. But there's no reward for it. Like, that's what I loved about Albion Online. Even when I died with gear, I was like, damn, that sucked. But at least now I can go try to go kill someone and get their gear. It's like, it made you want to go do it. And you have to flag PvP to actually go do good quests in the game. And I'm just out here like, if I see people, even if I see someone 10 levels below me, I have no interest to go fight them. Because all I'm doing is just being a douche. And like, I don't get anything out of it. If I got a bunch of gold out of it, or if I got, 10% of their gold, or if I got an item from them, or like, no matter what, it gave you a really nice drop, even if it's not from them, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna PvP now. But the PvPing in this game is literally just to be a douche. And it's so stupid. I hate it. Ugh. So,
I'll kind of agree with you in the sense that they don't give there's no personal gain from PvPing.
Yeah.
They really just use the PvP for the faction based stuff. When you roll through when you hit level, I don't remember what level it is, but when you get to the point where you can pick a faction, they explain that, when you flag PvP, when you're in your own area, you're like defending your territory from getting attacked. And if you're in enemy territory, if you're killing people in their zone, it makes their area more susceptible to being attacked and things like that. So in that sense, there is a legitimate purpose to PvPing, but for the player in itself, there really isn't.
Yeah. There's a 10% XP gain and gold gain for being flagged.
And that's my thing, like, for being flagged, but actually killing a PvP opponent, it doesn't really do it. Like, you get a tiny little piece of gold, and that's it. And my thing is, like, we've seen it multiple times now. People know where quests are that you have to go to PvP. and there's like a level 40 sitting in a a place where like level 15s are going to be a quest, and just killing and eliminating as many people as I can. It's like, this is so much fun, and that's how it's been for me. I've gone out PvPing for quests. Yeah, I've gone 3 times to go quest for PvP. First time was with Adam and Golden. I died in our second quest because there was a level, I think, 36. I was like 15.
You also got stuck.
Oh, 4 times. I wasn't even talking about that one.
You got stuck. Oh, okay.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the one in the temple area. That guy that knocked us all down, that we couldn't never get up from him. So that one, he of course jumps on me at the low level, and then I die right away there. And then the second time, my first 2 deaths in the game were from getting stuck. I was following Golden coming down a hill, and I just get stuck in the hill. And I'm like, seriously? I'm stuck in it, and I get PvP killed by like a level, I think 38 or something like that. And it's always in the quest areas. The third time I go out, I went by myself, got killed by a 32 when I'm like level 16, I think. And I was like, this sucks. It's like, either you shouldn't be able to kill people that are that low of a level, or there should be scaling. Like if you're in an area that it is lower levels, make that 32 now be like level 20. Sure, he can be the max level that they allow, but there's just nothing you can do to try to quest in this game. Like it sucks. You have to be in groups.
I think so. It really yes. I agree. The PvP needs a lot of work. So to piggyback off that, they either need to have like a level gap system. Okay, between the levels 1 to 10 or whatever, you can fight each other. 11 to 20, you can fight each other, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, you either shouldn't be allowed to fight somebody that low of a level, or if it is, you should do reduced damage to them or something to bring you onto their level.
Yep. 100%
that would be a lot more fair, a lot more enjoyable. And yeah, just probably something a little bit more rewardsy would be nice.
Yeah.
But also with the PvP, you have to have some sort of mobility kind of something.
Yeah.
If you don't have any mobility weapon on you or ability in itself, you're screwed. And that's where, unfortunately, like your whole scenarios come in, because you're 2 melees.
Yeah.
They don't have mobility stuff. Sure, you have a knockdown to try and run away, but it's not going to do the trick. Whereas the life staff, you have a quick teleport. The fire staff, you have a flame trail that makes you like boost somewhere. Even the bow, not so much. You do like a quick little jump back and shoot somewhere. But I guess it's something to like help you get over the water, since you can't swim or run in water. So like unfortunately, like your second or third weapon, depending on your level, has to be a mobility weapon that you just use for that. And that's what you see these PvPers do. They'll have like a knockdown weapon, and then they'll have like a life staff to teleport to you over and over. So you're never getting away.
And that's just kind of my issue, is like someone like me who, I'm like on level for the stuff I'm doing, but if I'm playing with you guys and like you guys are a couple levels ahead of me, the only way I can survive or do anything is by having the 2 melees. So it's like, I either get to, okay, sure, a PvPer comes by and I can get away, or I can actually do stuff. And it just sucks that they strap you down like that. But some stuff in this game is awesome. Again, the crafting system, freaking sweet. Like corrupted
The housing
events.
system's cool.
Yeah, I've heard the housing is pretty cool. The corrupted events that happen, I love them. I search for those and they're
cool.
Great. They're so much fun. The PvPing in this game, either give it a reward for doing it, so you're not just doing it to be a jerk and just try to ruin like the little low level people's days. Because if that's the case, like when this game relaunches, I'm thinking they'll probably reset us again. I really think they will.
According to Golden, they're not gonna.
Well, that's the thing. Like they weren't, like they didn't announce they were going to in this alpha either, and they did.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to change
like
the
they
game.
should, because some people already hit max level.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the PvP system. Okay, game comes out, cool, and now this level, what's max level? 50.
Yeah, 50.
Level 50.
At this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit in the level 8 zone where people have to fly to PvP to go do stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be great for the community in the game. Like, I feel like they are gonna reset things. At least hopefully just change some stuff. If they change it where like what you're saying, only certain levels can PvP in certain areas, cool. That would fix it. But Manny, we really just took this away from you for a while here. We just
you had
I
some
love
things you
and
need to
hate
get
this
off your
game.
chest,
Yeah,
buddy, and I
love and
understand.
hate this game, and it drives me nuts because I log into this game. I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. I just don't. And Adam is at a point where he really enjoys it. But please give us your thoughts.
Play with me, buddy. So just play with me.
I will.
So I've played entirely by myself. I've played probably like 10 hours of the game, and I'm like level 15, 16, around there now.
Hey.
What I've played of the game so far, I honestly, so I'll talk about the things I like, and then I'll kind of go from there. I do like the gathering and the crafting systems. There is a lot of depth to them, which I think is really cool. You stone cutting, you cut your stones and things like that. But then once you hit a certain level, you can cut gems too, and you can use those to craft jewelry and things like that. So there's a lot of really cool depth to it. From making clothes to cooking. The cooking in itself is so crazy in depth. Like even
there's a lot of food variety.
Yeah, even if you're just like cooking tier 2 stuff, which is like kind of the base, you can cook stuff for getting better luck with gathering different things, with different defenses and things like that. So it's really, really cool and really well done. The quest variety is very lacking, I will say that, but I honestly kind of like the simplicity of it. Myself, especially because you get a lot of things just for going out and doing a quest, because you're looting just regular loot chests and getting tons of stuff for it. So it's kind of a good way to potentially get better things. I like the way they do the weapons. The system itself is very simple. There's only like the fire staff and the life staff right now. There's only like 3 melee weapons, then the bow, and then the musket.
Yep.
But the variety to those is really cool the way they do it. They do randomized gear scores at like a certain tier essentially. And then, there's a chance to get a perk to it, like increased durability, elemental damage, things like that. So I kind of like that aspect to it. Gem slots as well that, you can use to add certain buffs to the weapon as well. I'm more in the vein in terms of like abilities and things like that. I like the Albion style. I like having just a simple like, you have these abilities. I will say like Albion more because you can kind of pick and choose those abilities, whereas in this game, at least for now, there's only like the 3 set abilities that you can improve by leveling up and things like that per weapon. So that's something that they can work on, but I do like it. I kind of, at first I was like, man, I really wish there were mounts. This map is enormous, and walking through it's kind of meh.
I still want mounts.
Thank you.
But but the more I played it, like I walked 3.5 kilometers to the city I'm in now for a quest, and honestly, like it felt like it flew by because just along the way there's different quest areas. There's new enemies that I ran into. There's
gatherings that you want.
Yeah, there's things I was hunting. I'm like, you know what? I want to keep working on my leather working. So I'm like, skin these animals. I need more feathers to craft arrows for my bow. I'm gonna go find turkeys and things like that. And I ran into one of those corrupted gates. And I went in. Honestly, walking into that thing is one of the spookiest things ever.
No. When you're gathering and then all of a sudden the map just disappears because it's happening right on you. That's spooky.
It's terrifying. The whole
I'm
world
like
just goes
getting
red.
some ore and then it's just and I'm like, okay.
But the corrupted gates are really cool. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
I kind of piggybacked off of like a pair of people that were doing it, and I helped them finish it. But it was a really cool experience. And then finding these different landmarks along the way, doing all these little things. It made a 3.5 kilometer walk feel like a really just cool adventure in itself. So the world is very alive and has different things to do and things to keep you kind of occupied while you're doing these long treks. So I didn't really have a problem making the walk that entire way.
Definitely understand.
Now, with all that said, I really did enjoy. I really enjoyed what I've played so far of the game. With that being said, though, I'm very glad that they pushed this game back, because there are a lot of things that they can still work on, including depth in the weapon system. There's only 2 staffs in the game. There's only 3 melee weapons in the game. There's only 2 ranged options. You know, you can add more depth to the leveling system with weapons, having different abilities, you know, making it to where you have 3 abilities that you use, but have variety to them, not just you have these 3 abilities that you have to level up to get to, and that's it.
The nice thing about that, though, so like for example, the fire staff, it has 2 different paths.
Yeah,
just like
it has
every
the
weapon.
2 trees.
You can go into both paths.
Mhm.
You just have to. So in a sense, it's 6 abilities, but you have to be such a high level to even get there to do that. So yeah, I think some more variety on abilities would be nice, or an easier way to get into that second path.
So, yeah, anyone again listening on YouTube or anything like that, let us know in the comments what you think so far of New World. But both of you, Adam, if you want to start first, and even if you have the same ones, if you can change one thing or you can have them modify, update, add, change, remove one thing when the game comes out, outside of PvP, we talked about, you know, PvP scaling enough, what would you have them do?
Easy for me. Actual story, depth in the story. I love stories in video games,
especially MMOs.
and like, yeah, especially in MMOs. Like some of those, like I can like skip through quite easily, such as like Lord of the Rings, because I already know enough of the lore, and I'm like, all right, cool, I know what happens here, whatever, skip cutscene. But like things like World of Warcraft, I'm like, I love this, let me watch. Until I've seen it, then I'm like, fine, whatever, seen you already. But like, give me some story, like give me some different quests. I want to know more about this area, this world, and what's going on.
Okay.
So tell me.
Definitely
Well,
understand.
cutscene.
The big thing with New World is like it's this mysterious place that people try to come and settle, and they just never come back because of all the things that are happening there. So that's kind of why there's like not much of a story. I wouldn't be surprised if, as the game evolves, we see little things here and there.
Yeah.
But like I just seeing the premise of the game, I see why there's really not much of a structured story, at least yet, to it. For me, in terms of things that they can improve on, for me it's more variety of weapons and skills. One really cool idea I just had while I listened to your guys' PvP little back and forth. One way that they can make PvP a little more interesting and do it to have a way of PvPing where you can, like, players could get rewarded is take a part of the middle of the map, make it a neutral area at all times. It can't be conquered, and just make it like an Elder Scrolls Oblivion arena where people can go and PvP. You can have like your tournaments where people can go in and fight each other. You can have level-based tournaments. You know, you have like this tournament's for people level 40 to 50 and things like that. And
Yeah.
you can make it to where you can have PvP that means something to the player, not just the faction.
So kind of like a gladiator type. Yeah, I like that a lot. That'd be really cool. To kind of go off what you were starting with, weapon variety. That's what I need in this game. I would really like to see some more variety with that. You know, give me the ability to dual wield swords, or dual wield axes, or have a two-handed sword, or crossbows. You know, that would keep me interested in it, because, you know, one of the things I like doing in games is kind of playing the maybe off-meta type of thing, or doing something that's a little not what everyone else is doing at times. When it, you know, maybe it's not very good, maybe it'll get a buff, things like that. So, you know,
The hammer right now. The hammer is the worst. Everybody complains about it.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's what I have all my levels in, and it kind of sucks. So, and that's probably something else that wasn't loved about it, because the hammer is pretty rough. But yeah, I'd love to see some more weapon variety. But yeah, I think that wraps up our New World talk. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Manny.
Hey.
Hey.
So, actually, before we switch over to our listener topic, as the preview winds down, how do you guys feel about this game? Is this something, because you both pre-ordered the game already, is this something that you're going to be like in on at launch? Is it something you need to see what the changes are going to be in on at launch, or are you on the like a fading out of it?
I'm fading out of it a little bit. However, when it comes out on launch, I think it'll be enough time where I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I've refreshed. It's been long enough. I mean, heck, from the alpha to the beta, it felt like I was playing a new game again because it was a couple weeks. So when it comes out again, I'm going to fully go in as much as I possibly can in this and try to just love it as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I definitely enjoy the game. The nice thing is I pre-ordered through Amazon, so I am actually able to cancel this purchase. You know, let's say if I didn't like the game, you know, then I could cancel it and get my money back. So at least there's that. But I'm at the point where I'm content. I'd say I'd give it a nice 7.5 out of 10 rating. So when it comes out in 2021, I'll play it. Like, I'm not gonna cancel the game. Like, it's definitely, it's fun enough where, yeah, after that big gap break, hopefully they do enough changes where that 7.5 will be at least like an 8.5, 9, and I'm gonna love the game.
Yeah, for me, I enjoy the state of the game right now because I'm somebody that can kind of like I said, I've been playing this game completely by myself and I've been really enjoying it. Like, I can get lost in, you know, and I haven't even really gotten too deep into crafting and gathering, things like that. But once I kind of get more into that, I can just kind of get lost in that and enjoy the game that way. But there are things, like I said, that I would like to see improve over time. This is a game I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes on. For me, I need to see what they're gonna be doing in the 6-7 months that they've taken extra to work on the game, because the game plays great. Like, this is a ready to play build. There's by no means issues with the servers or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're taking these like 6-7 months, 5 to 7, whatever it's gonna end up being, to add to the game. I feel like that's what they're taking this time to do, is add more.
Yeah, because server stability and everything has been good. Yeah. There's been very small hiccups where it's like, connection is bad, and then it's just gone.
Yeah,
like, you're fine.
I've had lag detected pop up once.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
if I get stuck in something else and die again, though, I'm done.
Dude, I got stuck in a house and I had to kill myself.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. I've died by things or people twice because I've gotten stuck. My first death, man, I had a Lynx. I was fighting a Lynx.
Do it yourself.
Destroy.
You know, there's an unstuck button, right?
There is an unstuck button, but Brandon didn't do it.
You literally just go to the game menu and there's an unstuck button.
Or type / unstuck. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the idiot hide his face.
Stupid.
I'm pretty sure when you got stuck too, and Gold and I were like, dude, just / unstuck, and you just like went quiet and sat there.
No one said that. No,
we definitely did.
The first
I swear.
time, I know I didn't, because I think it was just Golden the first time I got stuck. I was fighting a Lynx, it was nearly dead, I had like full health, and it hit me into a fire, like a little fire camp thing, and I got stuck. I couldn't swing, couldn't do anything, and it kept just killing me. Flip the desk.
It's alright. I got stuck once because after you chop a tree, there's just that little stump, and I was on the stump chilling, and the tree respawned, and I was in it.
That's funny.
I was like, well, this sucks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So that's gonna wrap up our top 5 gaming news stories of the week. Time for us to move on to our listener topic of the week. Brandon, listener topic for today's show was
Call of Duty.
Honestly, that's all we need.
Listener topic and he can't introduce
it. I'll introduce it. I thought we were gonna get more news about it, but our listener topic for this week is your thoughts, our thoughts on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War announcement that we had over this last week, and that's all I have to say about it.
It's a little bit of a flop topic, unfortunately, because there's not much.
So here's the thing.
There were some announcements that came out about it. It's cool.
Yeah, there was actually. So the trailer, like, it was the worldwide reveal was just a 2-minute trailer.
Yep.
Which was disappointing.
Yep.
But they came back the next day at opening night at Gamescom and gave us pretty good bit of information. So they talked to the devs for a few minutes to open the show. One thing that I thought was interesting, this is a direct sequel to the first Black Ops, which was kind of weird to me to know that it's kind of going back in the timeline.
They needed to go back because jetpacks.
No, yeah, I definitely think they need to go back to this era, but I was surprised that they're like, this is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. It just felt kind of weird.
I thought that was Black Ops.
So
2.
this is so this is essentially a Black Ops 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of cool stuff about the storyline that they were ready to talk about. One of them being that there's going to be a character creator for the campaign. Like, you're going to make your character for the story, which is, something we've never seen in the 15, 16 years of Call of Duty. The other thing was, did you have something, man?
No, go ahead. I have additional for different playstyles.
Okay. So the other thing was, we saw this a little bit in Infinite Warfare, and having like side things that you can do, but this game, it's going to have optional objectives in the missions. The missions aren't going to be as linear as they used to be, and there is actually going to be player choice aspects involved with the game, and they did confirm that there is going to be multiple story endings to the campaign for Cold War.
Which that's kind of cool. I do play the COD campaigns every year, because I like to trophy hunt for Call of Duty, because it's one of the easier games to trophy hunt for, besides the beat it on veteran difficulty or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'll play it. Here. I always tell everybody every year, I'm not gonna get the next COD, and I end up doing it, and I've really, really been meaning it. But because it's Treyarch and it has zombies, gonna get it. Because I just love zombies so much. Even if I hate the multiplayer, at least I'll have zombies.
Okay, I heard multiplayer. I was taking a mental nap while you guys talking about this story.
Multiplayer is going to be revealed September 9th.
Yeah, so big old birthday present for our boy Manny on his birthday.
Yeah.
It is cool. I'll be honest. Black Ops was one of the last stories that I've played, and it was a fantastic story. Them going back and going off of that one will be very interesting to kind of see what they do with it. The characters were great. There was a lot of depth in, a lot of different things we saw in that one. Making your own character is pretty cool. I definitely think that's going to add a little aspect that maybe I needed. I will say, because of that, I will try the story. So definitely from there. Some little things I know I saw with the multiplayer is not only is it going to be cross-platform like last year's Call of Duty, it is going to also be cross-generation play. So you'll be able to play with people from PS4 and Xbox One. I thought that was pretty cool. I am very interested to see what the multiplayer reveal is going to be myself. That will definitely help decide what I'm going to do with this game. It has zombies. Treyarch zombies have, for what I can think, have always been fantastic.
Yeah, I've never been upset about a Treyarch zombies.
Yeah. And I'll pay
they
$60
have the best zombies.
Yeah, I'll pay $60 to play some zombies. So, no problem
And the
there.
nice thing is, they are continuing the whole no DLC. No pay DLC. It is still free, continual additional content.
It's not bad. Not bad
Yeah.
at all.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I really like this kind of pivot in philosophy with the game, and going from no campaign to trying new things with the campaign, and kind of evolving to what we see from single player games now, with having players being able to impact the story with what they decide to do. I think is really cool, and I think it'll kind of be a nice breath of fresh air for the franchise.
Yeah.
In terms of the multiplayer, I don't know how to feel yet, because I don't know how the game's gonna play.
I'm actually a little worried now. So
Why?
I'm on their website, like the official website, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, they tell you about a pre-order edition bonus for the Ultimate Edition. It's called the Land, Sea, and Air Pack, and you get certain character outfits, certain weapon skin. You also get a vehicle skin. There's no way that the
could be just
vehicle
for-
skin is just for campaign.
Is Warzone
It
gonna
could
be?
be. So Warzone is gonna carry over.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's a chance. But I'm looking at it, and these vehicles haven't been in Warzone before. There's a tank here. Then there's a boat, and then there's like a huge heli chopper. So, like, maybe a slight chance that multiplayer is going to be trash and have tanks and helicopters and boats. Which, if that's the case, it's zombies only for me. Like, I don't want to play Battlefield. I want Call of Duty.
I would bet that those would only show up in Ground War or whatever Black Ops equivalent to Ground War will be. Because that's kind of what they did with Modern Warfare. They had transportation in Modern Warfare, but it was strictly
but at least it
transportation.
wasn't. Yeah, at least it wasn't weaponry.
And you only saw it in Ground War though.
Mhm.
So my guess would be if there is stuff like that, it's either going to be only Warzone or it's only going to be Ground War. I wouldn't imagine
if that's
that.
the case, then fine. Just please, no tanks, no helis like that. I don't want that. That's what score streaks are for, or kill streaks. And I don't want somebody calling in a gosh darn Abrams M1 tank and drop it on my head.
What's that, dude? Maybe those are the kill streaks. You call in artillery.
Don't call in a gosh darn tank. Artillery, fine. Tank, no. Bad. Bad Treyarch. Delete.
Delete. My willingness to buy this at launch is gonna kind of stem off of what we see in the multiplayer. If it is just gonna be, honestly, if they stay in the same direction as Modern Warfare, I would probably be less apt to get it because I just didn't care for the stylistic change that Modern Warfare brought to Call of Duty. I
won't get this at launch because this new system's not out by November 13th, right?
I would just get it for
Like-
PC.
but
Oh, or yeah, I could just get it. I've never played COD on PC. I don't
play
know, man. I
controller
feel
if
like
you want.
I know. I'm just saying, like, PC players are usually better, like at first-person shooters. And that's one of my actual enjoyable things about COD is that I'm really good on console, usually a 2+ KD. And I feel like if I bring it over to PC, it's gonna be like a 1.2, and I'm gonna hate my life.
hey, I still think PS5 is actually going to be the platform of the comp scene. So
It might be, dude.
just saying.
It might.
Best players playing PS5. You heard it here first.
It's false, but alright.
You say that, but it's true.
Nah, it's gonna be Xbox. Brandon's like, I hate it here.
Honestly, the one thing that was a little disappointing to me to see was that with the pre-order bonus being open beta access, being only available to digital pre-orders, I think that's kind of
I didn't know that. That's dumb.
yeah. It's only digital copies that are pre-ordered get open beta early
For
access.
Verona, they don't want you to go in.
No, I think they just want to push digital sales because
I mean, that's
they can't
fine.
sell
Honestly,
your
I've been
game
buying
back.
digital games.
it's more money for them.
more- Yeah, I've been buying digital more lately, anyways. Unless it's a collector's thing. So I mean, I guess that's fine. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, Call of Duty. I don't know. I just don't know. If they go back to how Black Ops 1 feels, I'll probably be all in on this game because Black Ops was probably my favorite Call of Duty. But
COD will never be slow paced again. Calling it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. After Modern Warfare, I'm worried about Call of Duty.
It just feels so weird to like not be so excited about Call of Duty anymore. Up
I know,
until
we
Infinite
used to
Warfare,
be
like I
so-
was pretty hardcore into Call of Duty.
I told you I would infect your brain and change your perception of games. It's taken a few years, but it's happened.
The problem is they got rid of jetpacks. I thought that was gonna be the future of Call of Duty, and I was like, hell yeah,
Jetpacks
this is
were
dope.
so fun.
Jetpack is awesome. Even Advanced Warfare, where it was a little too twitchy, it was fun. I'd rather play Advanced Warfare than Modern Warfare.
Fair. I actually liked Advanced Warfare. That was actually the last game I played comp Call of Duty in.
Yeah, it was a good time. But all right, yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up our Call of Duty talks. Then for this week's listener topic. For next week's listener topic, I was gonna say, I know we didn't really discuss it before, but I was gonna say, if you just want to go ahead and give us your favorite announcement from Gamescom. You know, if you want to go a little bit in depth about it, you know, let us know. Either maybe we'll do a little poll or something from it, you know, maybe the most exciting games, but let us know. Are you excited for, you know, something like Dragon Age, or is it maybe a DLC with Destiny or Doom, or you know, you're like me, you're smart, you're cool. Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if you don't pick Fall Guys 2, you're wrong. Season 2, you're wrong.
Let's see, there you go. All right.
Yellow team to get a buff.
Yellow team needs a buff.
That's oh god, there's so many great memes on their Twitter about like them buffing Yellow Team and then just turning into like super mutant like beans. It's hilarious, dude. Oh my god. Literally the best Twitter account on the internet right now. It's so great.
Since when?
Yeah.
True.
Facts.
True.
Or Savage Wendy's, man. It's been a minute.
Oh man. So that is everything we have for you guys this week. Last little tidbit for you. Remind you again this week, and we'll remind you on social media, Spreadshirt. Our Spreadshirt site, spreadshirt.com/nerdchambers. We are going to be having a sale, 10% off everything on the site, running September 3rd through the 6th. Again, hats are finally in stock. I'm going to be picking up at least one
Big value.
during the sale. So remember, keep an eye out for that. Super easy. You don't have to put in a code or anything. You literally just put 10, like it shows you like 10% off everything. You just hit redeem and it's boom, 10% off. So check it out. Find some cool stuff that you like. We're gonna have to try to work on getting some new stuff on there. We haven't had a new design in a little bit, so maybe we'll work on that in the near future. And yeah.
Adam. Do it.
Manny.
What's up, dude?
All right. Listen, all right. Like places you can find us: Anchored, Instagram. Kind of not really. Like that shouldn't even be on there. Let's be real. Brandon, come on. Let's get some more like breakfast photos when you go out with the lady. Like post them on Instagram, my guy. Come on. You went to Syrup and I got nothing. Lame. Twitch.
Yeah. Brandon, your homework for next week, you have to make a pancake for breakfast styled as a video game character and put it on Instagram.
He's just gonna have his mom do it.
I couldn't even make a pancake if I tried.
You'd burn the house down.
Oh, I would. Are you kidding me?
You can also find us on Twitch. We've been doing it pretty frequently. We also had the New World preview that we streamed for like 3 hours straight. So that was big value. Hopefully you can stream some Among Us. If you haven't seen it already, follow us on Twitch at least. Subscribe if you real. Twitter, of course. Facebook, Spreadshirt, as we just said. We got that sale, 10% off, September 3rd to the 6th. Big value. Hit it up. Money off is free money in your pocket. Go get a McDonald's McChicken, all right? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all the podcasting platforms. Find us there. If you can't tune into the show live, totally okay. Hit us up afterwards. We want to know some more. Snapchat, we have one. We don't do anything with it.
Not yet.
But maybe not yet. We will.
It's
all
on
right.
the cards,
Like
you know.
Yeah.
All timing.
TikTok. We have a few TikToks here and there, and hopefully we can get some more going. YouTube, of course. Pokemon card openings. Our podcasts go up on there. TNC movie nights. So we got a lot of places to find us. I wish there was one site for it all, but there isn't. That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
But
how's
if you're
the
out there
wedding?
and you're listening right now, why don't you create a website for us where you can just find all in one?
Yeah, like a social platform. Like
Yeah,
where all your links can be on one place.
that would be nice, wouldn't it? Huh.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Manny, take it away.
Oh man. So last thing for you, as always, keep an eye on our website, nerdchambers.com. In the near future, we are hoping to get some updates to that to help kind of have everything in one place for you guys. That's going to wrap up TNC Live, episode 65. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you that hung out live, that listens to the podcast, listens on YouTube afterwards. Y'all at bomb.com. If you're tuning in live on Twitch, be sure to follow us. Like Adam said, if you bad, sub. That'd be cool.
You know what? Actually, go check out our Instagram. I was just at a wedding this weekend. I'll post the photo on our Instagram of me at the wedding. You could see full dad Adam.
Dad mode, engage. You'll love to see it. All right, guys. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to
Good
the
night.
Nerd Chambers. Come back next week for more news you
That's what
need to know.